What if many of the thoughts you consider your own are not entirely yours? What if many of your beliefs, fears, habits, and even the decisions you make every day have been influenced by other people without you ever realizing it? Every day, you wake up, check your phone, talk to people, watch videos, read news, and interact with the world around you. These activities seem ordinary, yet beneath the surface, something much deeper is happening. Little by little, your mind is being programmed, not through hypnosis or secret technologies from science fiction movies, but through influences so subtle that most people never notice them. And if you do not understand how this process works, you may spend your entire life following a program written by someone else. The human brain is one of the most remarkable learning machines ever created. From the moment we are born, it is designed to absorb information from the environment. This ability helps us survive and adapt. However, that same ability also makes us highly susceptible to influence. As children, we learn language by imitating those around us. We learn how to behave by observing our parents. We learn what is considered right or wrong based on the environment in which we grow up. During the early stages of life, this process is essential. The problem is that it does not truly stop when we become adults. Even today, your brain continues to absorb information, adjust beliefs, and update its view of the world based on what you see and hear every day. Many people believe they think independently. They assume that all of their opinions come from their own reasoning. However, psychological research suggests that human beings are far more influenced than they realize. Even the mere presence of other people can change the way someone makes decisions. In many social experiments, individuals often conform to the opinion of a group even when they know the group is wrong. Why does this happen? Because the human brain has a deep need for acceptance. Throughout human history, belonging to a group increased the chances of survival. As a result, even today, people often adjust their thinking to align with their social environment. Imagine someone growing up in an environment where everyone believes that success is reserved for a select few. From childhood, they hear statements such as, "People like us are not meant to be wealthy," or "People from our background never make it." At first, these are simply voices from the outside. But after hearing them repeatedly for years, those voices become part of their internal dialogue. As adults, they may believe those thoughts originated from their own experiences, when in reality those beliefs were inherited from their environment. This is one of the most powerful forms of mental programming: repetition. The human brain tends to accept repeated information as truth. Psychologists refer to this phenomenon as the illusory truth effect. The more often a person hears a statement, the more likely they are to believe it, even if it is false. This is why advertising works. This is why propaganda works. And this is why the words you hear repeatedly from your environment have such a profound influence on your life. If someone constantly hears that they are not good enough, they eventually begin to believe it. If someone repeatedly hears that the world is full of opportunities, they may begin to believe that as well. The mind is influenced not only by facts, but by what it encounters most frequently. In the digital age, mental programming occurs on a scale never seen before. Every time you open social media, you enter an environment specifically designed to capture your attention. Algorithms study what you like, what makes you angry, what frightens you, and what keeps you watching. The longer you remain on a platform, the more information enters your mind. Without realizing it, your perception of reality begins to be shaped by what consistently appears on your screen. If you constantly consume negative content, you may begin to see the world as a dangerous place. If you continuously compare yourself to carefully curated images of other people's success, you may start believing that your own life is inadequate. Gradually, your worldview changes without your awareness. Yet the strongest influences often come from the people closest to us. Friends, family members, romantic partners, coworkers, and social circles possess tremendous power to shape the way we think. If you spend most of your time around people who constantly complain, eventually you may begin seeing problems everywhere. If you surround yourself with individuals who are optimistic and solution-oriented, your perspective will likely change as well. This happens because the human brain contains mechanisms related to social mirroring. We naturally imitate the behavior, attitudes, emotions, language patterns, and even thought processes of those around us. Have you ever noticed how one person's mood can affect an entire room? When someone enters carrying negativity, tension often spreads to everyone nearby. On the other hand, when someone enters with enthusiasm and optimism, that energy can influence the entire group. Emotions are contagious. Thoughts are contagious as well. This means the environment you choose does more than determine who your friends are. It helps determine who you become. Many people assume that manipulation is always obvious. They imagine someone deliberately lying, threatening, or controlling others. In reality, most influence is much more subtle. For example, if someone constantly minimizes your dreams, you may gradually begin doubting yourself. If someone consistently focuses on risks while ignoring opportunities, you may become increasingly hesitant to take action. If someone repeatedly emphasizes the dangers of failure, you may start avoiding challenges altogether. They may not consciously intend to control you, but the effect can be the same. Your mind slowly begins adopting their perspective. One reason this process is so powerful is that the subconscious mind does not always distinguish between fact and suggestion. When an idea is repeated often enough and accompanied by strong emotion, it can become part of a person's belief system. Once it becomes a belief, it begins influencing behavior. Behavior then creates specific outcomes. Those outcomes are eventually interpreted as proof that the original belief was correct. The cycle continues until someone consciously challenges it. Imagine a person who was repeatedly told during childhood that they were shy and not good at speaking. Because they believed that label, they avoided social situations. Because they avoided social situations, they never developed strong communication skills. When they later felt nervous speaking in front of others, they viewed that nervousness as proof that they lacked talent. In reality, the original belief had been shaping their behavior for years. The limitation was not created by reality itself, but by a story repeated so many times that it became accepted as truth. The good news is that if the mind can be programmed by the environment, it can also be reprogrammed intentionally. Awareness is the first step. The moment you begin paying attention to the information entering your mind every day, you start regaining control. You begin asking whether a belief truly belongs to you or whether it was inherited from your surroundings. You become more selective about who you listen to, what you watch, what you read, and what you allow into your mental world. People who successfully transform their lives often make significant changes to their mental environment. They replace destructive information with empowering information. They reduce exposure to negativity. They seek mentors, books, ideas, and communities that encourage growth. They understand that the mind functions much like a garden. Whatever is planted and watered consistently will grow. If you continually plant fear, doubt, and pessimism, those qualities will flourish. If you plant courage, learning, discipline, and positive beliefs, a different future begins to emerge. Ultimately, the most important question is not whether your mind is being programmed. The real question is, who is programming it? Are your decisions being influenced by fears inherited from the past? Are your choices controlled by the opinions of other people? Is your worldview being shaped by an environment that limits your potential? Or are you consciously choosing beliefs that support the future you want to create? Starting today, pay close attention to the words you hear repeatedly. Pay attention to the content you consume every day. Pay attention to the people who occupy most of your time and attention. Because little by little, all of these influences are shaping the way you think. They are influencing how you see yourself. They are helping create the reality you experience. And when you understand this process, you stop being a passive recipient of the world's influence. You become the gatekeeper of your own mind. That is where mental freedom begins. That is where real transformation begins.